My entry into the world of logistics couldn't have been more dramatic. I joined a dynamic company dedicated to building things, just as the first tremors of the COVID-19 pandemic shook the world. As a newbie, I found myself amidst a 5-person team buzzing with activity. However, this initial warmth was short-lived. Soon after, one of our colleagues, let's call him Alex, abruptly resigned. Now, Alex's departure wasn't just a personal loss, it became a window into the department's unspoken code of conduct. I witnessed firsthand how the team dynamic shifted subtly in his absence. Tasks that Alex once handled were redistributed, not with a sense of camaraderie, but with a cold efficiency. Conversations once peppered with his jokes and insights grew eerily subdued. What struck me most, however, was the passive-aggressive nature of this transition. No one openly criticized Alex or his work. Instead, it was a dance of subtle slights, micromanagement, and a persistent undercurrent of disapproval. It was almost as if the department, with a surgeon's precision, was extracting Alex's contributions from its very fabric, leaving him ostracized and ultimately driven to walk away. This unsettling observation taught me a harsh lesson about corporate dynamics. My naive expectations of an open and supportive work environment were shattered. I understood that in this company, at least, unwanted employees weren't outright fired. They were, in essence, bullied into self-ejection. A process far less messy for the organization but emotionally taxing for the individual. On the receiving end, Alex's story became a cautionary tale for me, a permanent reminder to navigate the murky waters of office politics with both awareness and vigilance. It was a baptism by fire, one that forced me to shed my rosy-eyed innocence and confront the often harsh realities of the working world. I saw it all, the full repertoire of a bully's symphony. Exclusion was the opening note, a subtle yet jarring dissonance in the rhythm of the workday. Meetings, once bustling with collaboration, became hushed chambers where they were simply not invited. Important events, like launch parties or conferences, were meticulously choreographed performances where their absence was the spotlight. Humiliation was the lead melody, played out in public forums. Sarcastic digs disguised as constructive criticism. Public lectures delivered with theatrical authority, all aimed at puncturing their confidence and exposing their vulnerability. Good work, like backstage toil, remained unseen, its applause swallowed by the silence. Conversely, mistakes, minor stumbles in the routine, were amplified into grand failures, trumpeted by the bully throughout the office like off-cue pronouncements. Overwork, a relentless crescendo, built pressure until it became a suffocating wave. Deadlines piled up, tasks multiplied, and amidst the chaos, the bully stood as the conductor, wielding expectations like a baton, ready to punish any missed notes. Inevitably, the victim faltered, unable to sustain the impossible tempo. And then came the finale, a brutal aria of beratement, laced with condescension and thinly veiled threats. It was, in all its depravity, a spectacle of cruelty masquerading as management. Yet, even as I witnessed this orchestrated assault, my naivety prevented me from recognizing the toxic melody for what it was. That, however, would become a later revelation, a chillingly valuable lesson etched in the memory of their suffering. Fresh-faced in my new role, I was handed the reins of our overseas supplier network, a sprawling labyrinth encompassing half-hour materials with China at its heart. It felt like a baptism by fire, especially for someone still acclimating to the corporate landscape. But to be honest, the apprehension wasn't fueled by malice. Naively, everyone, myself included, envisioned a well-orchestrated handover. I'd manage the non-Chinese suppliers, while a dedicated expert would tackle the complexities of the dragon, ensuring seamless operations. We envisioned a harmonious supply chain duet, responsibilities neatly divided. However, the orchestra never materialized. The promised China conductor remained lost in recruitment limbo, leaving me holding the baton for the entire global symphony. Suddenly, the handful of others morphed into a multitude of voices demanding shipments from India, haggling with manufacturers in Vietnam, and navigating customs labyrinths in Brazil. The promised duet became a demanding solo act, with me juggling time zones, cultural nuances, and language barriers, all while trying to decipher the cryptic language of invoices and shipping manifests. It wasn't easy. Days stretched into nights, fueled by spreadsheets and a potent blend of coffee and adrenaline. Navigating the nuances of international trade agreements felt like traversing a diplomatic tightrope. Each communication a delicate dance between cultural norms and business necessities. Yet, Amidst the initial overwhelm, a sense of unexpected confidence blossomed. Each obstacle surmounted, each supplier relationship nurtured, each shipment delivered on time was a victory, etching a map of resilience onto my professional compass. Looking back, that unexpected solo performance was a masterclass in adaptability. It forced me to shed the training wheels of naivete and embrace the unpredictable rhythm of global trade. The promised duet may have never materialized, but in its absence, I discovered my own voice, capable of conducting the complex symphony of a global supply chain. Amidst the global upheaval of COVID-19, our company faced a familiar adversary: soaring shipping costs. The culprit, exploding container prices, turning those metal boxes into vessels of fiscal burden. To combat this challenge, we embarked on a journey to optimize our overseas supplier workflow, but not without encountering unforeseen twists and turns. Imagine a waltz between us and our suppliers. They meticulously filled containers with our parts, waltzing them to the harbor's edge. We, in turn, waltzed them back to our facilities. All seemed well, until reality intruded. Often, we only needed a few pallets, think smaller stacks of parts, a mere drop in the container's vast ocean. The rest, air, expensive, unnecessary air, enter the tango, a complex and, admittedly, riskier step. To maximize container utilization, we introduced two external warehouses, one in the US, the other in China. Suppliers would tango their parts to these hubs, where we then packed them like sardines into containers, maximizing every inch. Fewer containers, lower costs. The logic was undeniable, but every tango has its challenges. This new rhythm severed the direct line of communication with our suppliers. No established protocol existed for relaying crucial information: part quantities, packaging specifics, change requests, all the intricate steps of our supply chain ballet. It was a silent tango, fraught with the potential for missteps. Despite the initial stumbles, we learned to pirouette around the challenges. Technology became our bridge, fostering communication through video conferencing and online platforms. Standardized procedures were meticulously crafted, ensuring clarity even in the absence of face-to-face interaction. Slowly, the new workflow found its rhythm, the tango transforming into a graceful if slightly unorthodox dance. Navigating this logistical foxtrot wasn't easy, but the lessons learned were invaluable. We discovered the hidden resilience of our supply chain, its ability to adapt and evolve even in the face of unforeseen disruptions. We learned the importance of clear communication, the silent language that keeps the gears of global trade turning. And most importantly, we learned to embrace the unexpected, to find the rhythm in the chaos and dance our way to logistical success. Thrown into the deep end of managing overseas suppliers during the COVID-19 storm, I was handed a paddle and told to navigate alone. But hey, I wasn't about to drown. Armed with resourcefulness and a trusty dose of Excel, I crafted a system that wasn't fancy. But damn, it worked. Think of it as a DIY supply chain symphony. Each supplier, a unique instrument, their quirks and rhythms meticulously noted in my Excel spreadsheet. No fancy software, just pure manual magic. Orders, contacts, timelines, every note played its part, keeping the music of deliveries flowing smoothly. The proof of the pudding, as they say, was in the eating. My symphony wasn't just keeping me afloat, it was catching the attention of the brass upstairs. One day, a suit, you know the type, impeccably tailored but slightly lost in the operational jungle, wandered over, intrigued by the harmonious hum of my Excel orchestra. Turns out, my little DIY system was making waves. He saw its potential, a beacon of efficiency in the choppy waters of global sourcing. And here's the cherry on top: I was the maestro. I knew every supplier, their quirks, their preferred tempos. I was the walking Rolodex, the human bridge between our company and a network of overseas partners. Not bad for a solo act, right? This wasn't just about Excel spreadsheets and fancy chats with suits. It was about adaptability, about taking initiative in the face of uncertainty. It was about owning my corner of the supply chain, mastering the intricate dance of international logistics. And in doing so, I discovered a hidden strength, a resourcefulness that would become a cornerstone of my professional journey. So, what did I learn? That can be powerful sometimes. The simplest solutions are the most effective. Don't underestimate the power of resourcefulness and a good old-fashioned spreadsheet. Knowledge is power. Owning your domain, be it suppliers, processes, or anything else, gives you a voice and makes you invaluable. Embrace the unexpected. The world throws curveballs. Learn to adapt, roll with the punches, and find your own rhythm in the chaos. And who knows, maybe your DIY symphony will one day become a company-wide standard, a testament to your grit and ingenuity. So keep paddling, keep composing, and keep owning your corner of the world. Some of you might have a sneaking suspicion about where this story is heading. Let's just say it involves Excel, ambition, and a very specific folder named Part Pictures. So, picture this me, navigating the turbulent waters of overseas supplier management during the COVID storm. Armed with nothing but ingenuity and a trusty Excel spreadsheet, I crafted a system that kept the music of deliveries flowing smoothly. Imagine it like a digital orchestra, each supplier a unique instrument, their quirks and rhythms meticulously noted in my spreadsheet cells. No fancy software, just pure manual magic. Orders, contacts, timelines, every note played its part. But here's the twist during this entire solo performance. Not a single soul from the upper deck bothered to ask how my symphony worked. My data, the lifeblood of our overseas success, lay hidden on slide 800 of an Excel file buried deep within a folder titled Part Pictures. Yes, you read that right. It was the ultimate unsung hero, hiding amidst pictures of pistons and sprockets. And me? I was the lone conductor, the walking Rolodex, the invisible bridge between our company and a network of overseas partners. Not bad for a solo act in a suitless tie, right? Now, fast forward to the post-pandemic lull. COVID, the storm that had forced me into this solo act, began to recede. And with it, the tide of my fortunes changed. For whatever reason, theories abound, but details remain murky. The department decided they no longer needed my unconventional symphony, the feeling, déjà vu. I'd witnessed the same cold choreography before, back when Alex, the colleague who left shortly after I joined, was ostracized by a similar dance of silent exclusion. All the bullying. I thought to myself at first that if I pull through and keep doing a good job, and I believe I did, a good job, they would eventually cool down. But they didn't. After 2 months of that, I said fuck it, and decided to just sit out and endure until the Christmas bonus we get every year, and then hand in my notice. And also, I just delayed teaching anyone how my system worked until I was gone. And that is pretty much how it happened. Off topic for my own future employment, I actually lucked out. One of the local suppliers I was managing had a really chill guy as managing director. I gave him a call, explained I was about to be unemployed, asked if they needed staff. He then called me into an interview. We talked about Anim for an hour while his HR lady looked confused about what an attack on Titan was, and he told me I can come in the moment I am done with my then current job. Back on topic, a month into working at my new job, I got a call from my old job. The department manager, to his credit, he was always a reasonable guy. He told me in plain words that they have no idea where TF to even start with the Chinese suppliers. He then offered me my old job back with a very respectable pay increase. I explained that I already had a new job. 2 days later I got another call where the same manager offered me many times my monthly salary just to come in for 1 week and instruct my old team in how my process functioned, introduce them to all the contacts, etc. I told him I refused because of the way I had been treated by them when I worked there. He said that he understood and wished me luck at my new job and hung up. The reason I am writing this story now this week, I randomly got in touch with some of the people in the transport department from my old job. They mentioned that in the now 10 months since I left, the logistics department racked up 8-figure losses due to wrong deliveries, over and under deliveries, outdated parts, some suppliers canceling their contracts and new suppliers needing to be sourced, etc. And all the blame for that fell on my old team. My new job is fine. It's not the best job, but I get to travel a lot and get nice bonuses for it. My boss isn't around much since he married. I do sometimes regret not taking that offer for a week as an instructor.